Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to some more Pokemon action. I'm your host Ryan, and today we are looking at one of the final battles for the Pokemon Doubles Federation normal season, not playoffs. So this is against Mega Gladiator, owner of the Goldenrod Gladiators. Now, I was going to do these live, but I figured I'd do better if I didn't do them live, so we didn't do them live, but we're just going to do some post-com here. Now, his team was Lapras, Togekiss, Crustle, Snorlax, Ampharos, and Dusclops. Mine was Mr. Mime, Hoopa Unbound, Landorus, Therian, Rotom Wash, Heatran, and Cresselia. And yes, my draft was very stacked. Very stacked. Now you may be wondering why I have Hoopa Unbound. That seems like something that is not legal. We are playing Smogon doubles OU, so it is legal, and it's also a 6v6. I believe I've covered this before. But basically, I knew he was going to bring Trick Room because he drafted a pretty Trick Room team. So I brought, some relatively fast options. Hoopa Unbound's about 70 speed, I think. Landorus is about 90. Cresselia is about 75. They all kind of sit somewhere between like 70 and 100, which is good because, then I outspeed the slow stuff, or if he brings his faster options, I underspeed those for Trick Room. So that's pretty good. Now, looking at his team, I wasn't really, I wasn't sure what to start with. I didn't really have too much for Snorlax, believe it or not, which I didn't find too worrying because, it's a Snorlax. I don't really consider Snorlax a threat unless it gets a belly drum off, but at that point it cuts its HP in half, and a non-stab fighting type move will be more than enough for that. So I think I decided to lead off Mr. Mime and whatchamacallit, and Hoopa. Because, you know what, it's a really powerful lead, and there's not really much that he can do against that. He really doesn't have anything to do against that. So he's going to start off with Dusclops and Ampharos, and I'm going to start off with Mr. Mime and Hoopa. Now, I absolutely adore this lead for me. Ampharos can't do anything. Dusclops can't do anything. I basically should one-shot the Dusclops, which, I mean, you may not expect it, but Hoopa Unbound is strong as shit. So Ampharos is going to Mega Evolve. Now, that's good because I went for Dazzling Gleam, but I go for Hyperspace Fury. This is, like, honestly the coolest damn animation in the game, and it just straight up one-shots the Dusclops. I don't know what he's running. I really don't, but I was surprised that it one-shot it. I figured I'd kill him this turn with Dazzling Gleam, but I didn't realize I'd one-shot him. So I go for Dazzling Gleam, and, even though it's single target, my Mr. Mime's not very physically not offensive, so it's not going to do too much. But the Ampharos does surprise me and get off a very powerful Signal Beam, which does one-shot me. So I lost my strongest team member, because I didn't bring a Mega, if you notice in the bottom. You really don't need a Mega when you have Hoopa. Now, you may be thinking, like, why did I bring in Landorus? He had a lot of things, like, Snorlax that can come in. I figured Landorus was my best option because I can Earthquake for the Ampharos, not too big of a deal. Now, I wasn't too concerned about the Togekiss switching in. I didn't think of it at the time, but I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal. My Landorus is Assault Vest, so I should be able to take an Ice Beam pretty damn well. So I figured, an Earthquake plus a Dazzling Gleam should do enough to the Lapras. It doesn't, which is not good. And I do not have Wide Guard, so I am going to switch out my Mr. Mime here in favor of my Cresselia. Oh, no, I'm not going to switch it out. Never mind. I was going to switch out next turn because I had no reason to stay in with my Mr. Mime. I could have gone for Rock Slide, but, I'd rather get that Earthquake off and kill the Lapras. Now, he does get an Icy Wind off on me, and if you notice, it does do a lot of damage, even though I'm Assault Vest. And, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a Helping Hand, and I'm going to go for, I believe, a Rock Slide. He does go for Dazzling Gleam, and it does crit my Landorus, which, unfortunately, I think mattered because I believe I would have survived that. I am Assault Vest, remember, and I really do think I would have survived it. Now, Brine is pretty strong when he's under half, so I don't think I would have. It's kind of like a toss-up here. So I'm not really sure. But I bring in Rotom because there's really not much that this team can do against it at this point in time. So I am going to Thunderbolt the Lapras because, you know, I just want to get rid of the Lapras. Obviously, switching into the Ampharos is not going to take anything. He does have Grass Knot, which I didn't even realize Togekiss gets, but thankfully Rotom's just very good. He's very, very lightweight, so it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Thunderbolt the Togekiss. I don't expect to take it out, but I do expect an Ice Beam to take out the Ampharos because, well, it's super effective. And I am somewhat invested in special attack, so I figured this would take it out. But he's running some interesting EVs. I think he might have some special defense because that I believe should have taken him out. But I do go for another Thunderbolt to take out the Togekiss, and I know that my Cresselia is faster than the Ampharos, so I don't have to worry about taking out the Ampharos. I do go for the Psychic, because I figured, hey, he might switch into, like, say, the Lapras here in order to not take out his Ampharos. Psychic is, you know, enough to kill, so it's not too big of a deal. He doesn't switch out, so I do take out the Ampharos. Now, in comes Crustle and Snorlax. Now I'm thinking, okay, Snorlax is going to be annoying. I don't really know what to do. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack this Crustle with a Hydro Pump, and then I'm going to double into it with a Psychic because I don't want to deal with it. I think it can kill my Cresselia in one shot with an X-Scissor. It's going to be annoying. Now, the Snorlax does go for Seed Bomb. I take that pretty well because, again, a Snorlax is not very much of a threat. I personally never consider Snorlax a threat. The only time it's really a threat is with Self-Destruct, but even then, that's, you know, not too big of a deal. So in comes Lapras again. Now I'm like, you know what? Do I really need to attack the Snorlax? I don't really know. You know, it's not really too scary for me. I'm not really concerned about it. But he does get the Icy Wind off, which is a little unfortunate because now I am slower than the Lapras and stuff. I do go for the Psychic onto the Snorlax because, you know, I was just like, you know what, not a big deal here. I'll just, you know, chip it up a little bit. I figured, you know, Thunderbolt might be enough to kill the Lapras. Probably not, but it might be. Now he goes for Pursuit. I guess he was expecting me to switch. I don't really know why I would have switched there. I didn't really have much of a reason to. But I do go for another Thunderbolt. I do kill the Lapras. But yeah, I don't know why he'd expect me to switch there. I had no reason to. But he ends up going for Power Up Punch, and now he's at +1. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what can I do here? What do I have that can stop this from, you know, going a little too far? And I figured, you know what, I'll just bring in my Heatran. He doesn't really have anything in the back that can stop my Heatran. In fact, he has nothing in the back, now that I think about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Flash Cannon him and burn him. Obviously, I'm not gonna go for I have Flamethrower on this Heatran. I'm not gonna go for Flamethrower because, I mean, let's be real here. He probably is running Thick Fat, and if he's not, I mean, it would be nicer to go for Flamethrower, but I think Flash Cannon is the better option here because I do get Stab on it. I mean, I get Stab on Flamethrower as well, but, you know, like I said, you know, Thick Fat. But there's also a chance to drop Special Defense, and as we know, Snorlax is a Special Defense wall. So I go for the Double Protect here. I'm just stalling out turns. Everything in the back that I have is all special. And while Snorlax so far has not... Actually, I think at this point, we see all of his moves. We know he doesn't have Rest, so... you know, just kind of deteriorating it, because he does have a chance to win, even though he is slowly losing. But I thought he had a chance to win, but then I hit my Hydro Pump, and it does a lot more than I thought. So I was like, okay, actually, you know, he doesn't have any chance of winning now, because that's basically game right there. I didn't really expect my Hydro Pump to do that much damage. I don't think I have too much investment into my Rotom in special attack. I don't actually really remember. It's been a while since I EV trained it, so I don't actually know the EVs, which is not a great thing, you know, but what are you going to do? So, yeah, so at this point, the game's won. Flash Cannon's going to kill him, and that's going to be it. Now, this battle and the next battle, because those are the last two of the season, don't really matter so much because, unfortunately, in the Alpha Division of my league, half of the people left, leaving only 3 people, which is how many people were gonna make it into the playoffs. So at this point, we're just battling for placement and who gets a bye for the first round. So right now, at this point, Mega Gladiator is not out. It is out of the running for first place. So the next battle is going to be against Liquid Ice to determine who gets the whatchamacallit, the, oh my god, why can't I think of it right now? The first place bye. So either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to catch you guys at the next episode. Peace.